right, everyone, welcome back to the Off Court Podcast, episode 28, the paddle podcast covering all your paddle needs.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back wherever you're watching, listening from. Thank you for being here. Today, we officially celebrate 1 year anniversary of the Off Court Podcast.
Yes.
We are...
Yes, still trying to say our name right.
We are officially 1 year old.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Our first video or podcast episode we ever uploaded was covering the Mexico Majors last year. So we've made it through. We were a little bit excited over the last couple of episodes. So we might have mentioned that we're nearing our 1 year birthday. But
it's officially today.
So massive thank you for everyone since day one or from yesterday.
If you're new, if you're old,
welcome.
Doesn't matter. Welcome or welcome back. Thank you very much.
All right.
Today we are diving into the last major of the season and the penultimate tournament of 2025, the Mexico Major. We went back to the place where it all started.
Acapulco.
The history of paddle. In 1969, it was invented there.
Yes.
And they host one of the best tournaments of the season, I think.
It was lit. That's my adjective word of the day. It was honestly like such a great tournament, really. Like, yes, it's a major. Yes, we're there's only 1 week away from the Barcelona Finals. The race was on the line here between the Golden Boys and Chingalan that we've been seeing, shift over the last few tournaments, and we got an answer to it. And obviously, we're going to get into everything today. Yeah. If you don't know the results, stick with us and ride with us to the end, and you'll find out yourself. If you did spend the weekend sitting on your couch, if you're in the European time zone, trying to catch up and watch all of the games live like we did, half asleep on our couch, but obviously the crowd kept us awake, the games kept us awake, and it was just a great tournament, man. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So first of all, overall vibes, feeling of the major. I mean, you said it just now.
10 out of 10 for the crowd turnout. The Mexicans were on it. I love the celebration. A lot of Lebron fans out there, but all I want at the end of the day is an animated crowd that are riding for the games, and we got it.
They definitely brought the energy, man. Even when there were no Mexican players on court, they were still there supporting, watching, being super vocal. And it was just the energy you could feel from the TV was
even through the TV. He was there in Dubai like a couple of weeks ago watching Premier Paddle live, but I was telling Hugh because these games were on so late, like I was watching quarterfinals and my eyes were like drifting, closing.
It was like 2 a.m.
I would be woken up by every time the crowd cheers, and I was just like, wow, man, these guys are absolutely on it. So from that aspect, it was great.
In terms of court speed and weather, I mean, we hadn't seen an outdoor tournament in a while.
Yes.
This was outdoor, obviously. The venue was sick. Mexico, generally, because of weather and other factors that affect
conditions,
basically, it's generally more on the faster side, I think. But because we were playing throughout the day in Mexico, as soon as the sun went down, when we got to especially semis, finals. Yeah. Depending on, what time you played, the court was faster or was slower.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, it is an outdoor tournament, but thankfully this tournament, it almost felt like an indoor tournament. No wind gusts, no rain, nothing to complain about from our side here. So, it was fantastic, legendary tournament. Yeah. And we got some crazy storylines here, which we're going to jump into now,
and
really.
It was a tournament filled with highlights in different parts of the tournament early on, further into the tournament. We had loads of amazing games. Obviously, the debut of two main new pairs, Stupa, Di Nenno, and Augsburger, Lebron.
We've been so excited to see Leburger. I'm kind of down for that nickname as well. It's that's super fun. But we saw them live on the court. All these pairings that, old and new a little bit that we thought we have to touch on this episode. Yeah. So we're going to jump on to our first segment here.
The pyramid from down to up.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And we're going to cover it all, guys. So stick with us.
We'll start with the shouting out and I guess talking a little bit about Paquito and Jon Sanz. I mean,
the crazies, man. I love them.
They're TikTok boys.
Yeah, the TikTok boys, they're just as good as filming TikToks as they are on court as well. I absolutely adore their energy. Their combination, I kind of see them as the cooler older brothers on the circuit right now that are just like, or frat bros. They give
They
give a little bit of frat bro
yeah.
energy, which I'm kind of down for as well.
Yeah.
But, two exciting players to see.
Yeah.
When you go against like whoever they're going up against, they're going to play with their heart out, and what a fucking ride they had, man.
I mean, they bring the game. Looking at their like recent, tournaments and what they've done, they've reached semis in Kuwait, semis this time in Mexico, and also a final in New Giza. It was a pair that, to be honest, when they announced they were coming together, I didn't think they were going to do that well.
Me too.
But I mean, they've been surprising us. Jon Sanz, I think last year, even though he did win the Barcelona Finals, I wasn't really a huge fan of him. I think he missed a lot, which he still does, but...
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, but I think his level is only increasing, and I think he's going to get better. I don't know if this is just like a good period he's at.
It's pure brotherhood right there. Their connection on and off the court is like dynamite, really. And I think that shows that, like, if you have a really good relationship with your partner.
I mean, I completely agree. I think the thing they do well and why they do well is not so much in terms of like strategy, paddle. I think they complement each other mostly on passion, energy, and emotion. Two very emotional players that even, Paquito was saying how maybe it's the first time he's ever played with someone who's even more emotional and passionate than him. We've got on one side Jon Sanz, lefty, which as we know is always like a good thing to have. With high risk, high reward player.
Yeah, I mean, look, watching Jon Sanz in semifinals was slightly painful. There was moments where the crowd was kind of like wincing in pain every time that ball hit the net. And it was just like, okay, you also like couldn't return a serve 3 times in a row.
I mean,
these are the moments where the inconsistencies come in, and it is a bit of a flaw of Jon Sanz, especially because, as you said, high risk, high reward, and unfortunately he kind of got the bad end of the stick in that scenario and for the semis. But
they did take them to 3 sets though. They took the Golden Boys to a 3rd set. It was a 6-2, 7-6, 6-3 for Coello and Tapia. I mean, as we were saying, just in that match, Jon Sanz raked up 29 unforced errors. 24 winners, which is very good. Like, I mean, 22 from Paquito as well, but 29 unforced errors for a total of 37 for the team.
Yeah.
Jon Sanz did more unforced errors than Coello, Tapia, and Paquito combined.
Oh my gosh, man.
Which is like... I love him. I love his passion. I love his energy. He's one of the like fittest players on court.
Yes.
But I think he may be. I think his eagerness and his passion maybe get in his way sometimes. Where it's like maybe just
clear your mind,
chill,
take a breath,
don't go for the
winner,
and try and he's got Paquito on his side, who's an amazing player and who's a veteran of the sport, one of the best players in the world, who kind of levels that out. The risks that Sanz takes
neutralizes
compared
a little
to Paquito.
bit.
But I mean, I think they deserved a shout out, and especially reaching semis of a major.
I will title them as the best bromance on the Premier Padel circuit. Like they're incredible. I don't know if you saw them celebrating after they won in the quarterfinals as well. We'll play the clip here.
Oh
it's just pure raw emotion, and that kind of hypes me up as well. So
when Jon Sanz starts screaming and Paquito brings out the guitar,
or the DJ sometimes,
the DJ and
it's so good. They celebrate their highs and they have to celebrate their lows as well together. But we just wanted to shout them out, and we'll move on to our next pairing here, which is a little bit of a downer, I guess, because we got a surprise knockout from Coki Yanguas and
my team, man, my boys, the ones that I always want them to do well.
Yeah, knocked out by Barahona and Garcia in round 16.
Which I believe
is a shame, right? But
it is a shame. They have been playing well. It's not a bad pair. They've got that like Super Pibes curse that they had when they were playing together, where it's semis, and they never managed to get that extra because they always face Chingalan or Coello and Tapia, and they get knocked out. I mean, they've reached 12 semifinals this year, which is like really good numbers.
It's over half the tournaments, or about half.
Yeah, but I think they're missing something. I don't know exactly what it is. Look,
I think a drive, I'll be honest. Like, they're too passive, man. Like,
you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Coki, look, Yanguas, don't get me wrong, like, is incredible on the offense, but I just feel like you need someone with just, like, the killer smash, and I think maybe Coki's a little bit, amazing in the defense, but, if it gets him to the semis...
As a backhand player.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
so
he's lacking a little bit of power there.
Yeah.
I think Yanguas as well, is still a very young player, has a massive trajectory in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he still wants to fight for those like top spots. Further like looking at his future. So I don't know. I think there's some questions about
Hugh's having some uncertain feelings about Coki and Yanguas and their future as a pairing, basically.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to probably be more motivated on Yanguas' side of, I have no idea, but my hunch is that I don't think they're going to stay together for 2026. We've got, on the other side, debut, third time they've played together since they've known each other for 20 years, but Stupa Di Nenno playing together once again in this tournament for the first time.
Also knocked out
early. Relatively early. Lost against the TikTok boys. And an amazing game. But I feel like the passiveness you were talking about, I see it a lot more in Stupa Di Nenno. Right. I do Coki Yanguas.
Okay. I agree with that as well.
Yeah. I think just Stupa, I don't know what it is. Even when he was playing with LeBron, he is an amazing player. And when he has a good day, he can be so good. But there's something missing. I think that the opponents they're facing now, the likes of Coello, Tapia, Chingalan, Augsburger, Lebron, they just bring something else, especially looking at where Padel is at now.
Yeah, it's the aggression. That's it. It's just how they can finish off a point very quickly and set it up and execute it. Mm-hmm. Where I feel like when you have a more defensive style of play, going up against teams that are much more aggressive, especially on faster courts, you're kind of screwed a little bit, right? Like the only time that goes in your favor if the courts are super slow. Which maybe we might see in Barcelona for the finals.
We will, 100%.
It's a notorious reputation for that. And, maybe that's when we'll go, okay, that makes sense on paper. But really, I think with the spread of court conditions over the whole season, it's going to end up like that, where they only make semis or whatever, So I do also see a little bit of uncertainty for them.
We saw Nieto Sanz when they were playing together last year win
Barcelona Finals, so anything can happen.
Beating Coello and Tapia.
Yeah.
Barcelona's like that's the court for Coki where he can play his game, his style.
It's his tempo.
Soft transitioning, lob, bandeja, going to the net. So we'll see. Look, I'm just gonna, I might be wrong, but I don't know what you think.
Put it out there.
I'm predicting maybe a pair swap, Stupa Yanguas for 2026 and Di Nenno Coki. Stupa Yanguas already played together in 2023-4, I believe. And I think, looking at how the rankings are looking now and the pairs that are like consolidated or just started, I think that's their best option.
That's so sick. You watch Super Pibes play one tournament, you're like, they're fucking done, man.
No, I don't think they're not. I don't want to say they didn't manage to get to semis or a final, so it's over for them. But I don't think they were thinking of. I don't think it's a long-term thing. I think they've already tried it out.
Right.
I think it was more the Lebron leaving and the big, headline of Augsburger Lebron, Stupa kind of being left then and having to look for someone else.
They had to jump ship, basically.
He had to swap pairs with Di Nenno.
All right, well, I'm down. Bring back Stupa Yanguas and do a little throwback there. Good work. I mean, on paper, I think they're the stronger pairing compared to Coki and Di Nenno, which that's two defensive beasts, really.
I mean, you're going to have 0 unforced errors in a 3-set match, but probably not a lot of winners.
Yeah. So that's where it is.
We'll see. Let us know what you guys think as well about these pairs. I guess, not really lower in the ranking.
Yeah.
Yanguas, Coki are now pair number 3.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You know what I mean?
But okay, that's your speculation on especially Stupa Di Nenno as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got to talk about their other counter half, which is the new pairing that we've been waiting for for weeks now.
The biggest news, I guess, everyone in the world of paddle.
Guys, we saw Lebron Augsburger play together for the first time. Hugh, I kind of want to get into it. Might be a longer segment, this one. But what was your initial thoughts? Was your excitement met by reality? Was it, what did you think seeing both the two most emotional players play next to each other?
The two beasts. I liked it. It. They
feels
made,
good.
Look,
feels
they
good.
made semis their first time playing together.
Yeah.
Also, let's not forget they're pair number 5 now. It's the
Right.
first time since 2017 that Juan Lebron is not seated in the top 4 pairs, which means that in quarterfinals, technically he could face one of the top
Coello,
two,
Tapia,
a Tapia or a
Chingalan.
Chingalan. So good on them for making it. Almost got knocked out in round 16.
I watched that game. Yeah, I was like,
probably the match of the tournament.
yeah, it was against Garrido Campagnolo, right? Who are like, I'll say, just side note, really happy for Garrido and Campagnolo.
Finally.
Like there's something going on there for
yeah.
Garrido, and we're at the end of the season, so I'm excited, and I hope they stay together for next season. We're not talking about them right now, but yeah, I watched that game and I was just like, please no, like I want to see more LeBron Augsburger. I don't want them to go out early. Like, please, can you just stick through it? And yeah, that third set was nuts. It was actually nuts. It went down to tiebreak and everything like that. And I was just like, great, we got a good match. And I was like, oh, I'm kind of shook a little bit now for their road to quarterfinals, which was a bit of a breeze for them, I'll be honest. Took it in 2 sets.
Barcelona Garcia upset Coki Yanguas, beating them in a round of
16.
Yeah. So in the quarterfinals, Lebron Augsburger had a, I guess, easier opponent to face. They took it easy in 2 sets. But I mean, look, in terms of feelings, initial vibes, thoughts, I do think that this is exactly what LeBron needed.
Yes.
For the first time in a while, I've seen him play the paddle that he's most comfortable with, because Augsburger allows him to do that. I don't think I've ever seen 2 players closer to the net than these two. Like, they're literally inches apart, just trying to get that slap dunk out of the court.
Tap it out the court.
It's kind of like, I think it's LeBron also adapting to Augsburger's style the same way he played Augsburger with Cardona, which is just like suffocation. It's like a heightened version of Coello Tapia. Coello Tapia are more nuanced and have more tools. Yeah. But that's just like, let's make the court half the size.
Exactly.
And let's not give any time to think or space to our opponents.
Let's swallow them up and try and win in that way.
And
which kind of worked, I'll be honest. It got them to a semi-finals against Chingalan, which was also another insane game, right? Like,
it allows them to compete. Right now, I think, obviously, out of all the options, it's the best for both of them. I think the main thing for me as well, kind of like with Paquito and Sanz, it's finally, I think, LeBron has found someone with the same personality and hunger as he has. 2 super passionate players that are also emotional in a different way than Paquito and Jon Sanz, because they know, and the reason they're playing together is to fight for that number one spot. Right? So they're going into games with a different mentality. I think the chemistry is good. The chemistry is
so far good.
So far. As in chemistry, as in like, inside the court, as we know, maybe in Barcelona Finals or 2 tournaments into 2026, they start screaming at each other.
Which I can't wait for, I'll be honest. That's going to be a highlight. I think comparing them, obviously we're going to get into the semi-final against Chingalan as well. Like, yes, we were excited for them to jump in, be a new squad, be a new pairing, go up against, number 2s, for example. But it also kind of registered like, okay, look, these guys actually haven't played before. They're doing 2 tournaments together before the season ends. We were getting a little taster for what this could be for next season, and if they could actually be serious contenders for the number 2 spot, let alone the number 1 spot. And I think we're seeing all the right things, but I think it always goes back to, and I think you guys might know what we're about to say, is like, it is the emotional relationship on court. When I watched that game against the quarterfinals with Stupa Lebron, and they went to 3 sets against Campagnolo and Garrido. LeBron, was that quarterfinals or round 16? One or the other. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But you could feel like LeBron was also trying to be on his best behavior here. They went to 3 sets and they're about to hit a tie break. he doesn't need. He's aware of the pressure that he can put on as a teammate.
Yeah.
And if he's pulling faces, we've seen it all. He knows that's not helpful, which is kind of funny because he's like aware of it. And like later down the line in a relationship with your partnership, and that grace period ends when LeBron's like, I got to be in my best behavior, and now he can just act how LeBron wants to act. That's when I'm a little bit more skeptical on the relationship. I also feel like, you know, unlike Stupa, Augsburger has way less tolerance to bullshit, basically. You know, whether that's out of like emotional intelligence or his fuse is just shorter. I don't know when, you know, the boat rocks, how they're going to handle it. And, you know, we have to kind of strap in for next season to see how they work together and work through things in good and bad moments. And that's my general gut feeling now with seeing LeBron and Augsburger play together. Yeah. I'm excited. We know their strength is power and aggression. But when they get put on their ass a little bit, because other teams know that already and they're going to analyze their play, it's like it's kind of all on the table for them to read and see how they want to do that. And, you know, you take away the lob from Augsburger, is Augsburger still as dangerous? The smash from Augsburger. Is Augsburger still as dangerous as, you know, everyone is? Yeah. Like, everyone thinks he is. And, you know, it's kind of figuring stuff out like that.
It is figuring stuff out. I think LeBron also knows, you know, where he's at in terms of, like...
his career?
Well, career, and, like, I don't have a lot more options other than this guy, so...
It's the last bullet in the chamber.
And the best one, right? As you said a couple episodes ago. Yeah. So I think he does want to, like, kind of nurture that and be like, I can't lose this guy, and I need to, like, really try and build a team here, so I can't do my classic LeBron antics.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, I saw them well. As you said, I think they still need a little bit. Let's not jump to conclusions as we sometimes do. Obviously, we're guilty of it.
We're on the edge of the cliff right now, and we're jumping into a conclusion.
Some like in the paddle world, it's very easy for us to be like, oh, new pairing. Yeah. They get knocked out early. Oh, they're done.
They're smoked.
They're not good together. It's like just give them a bit of time.
Yeah.
I did observe that they feel a little bit disorganized still. Yes. LeBron hasn't played with someone like Augsburger for a long time, and I think they just still need to adapt to each other's play style. I think it's the closest. It's like it was a bit reminiscent of Galan LeBron.
Oh, really?
When I saw them playing together.
Okay.
Just I think aesthetically as well, because they're both like backwards cap, white.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, it's kind of like they're like matching. They're like twins.
Of course, yeah.
But then as well in like the play style, right? Augsburger loves just pushing forward.
He'll just stand at the net regardless.
He'll just stand at the net. I think it's maybe to bait the lob on him, so that then he can use his best weapon, which is his smash. Then LeBron kind of stays back. Their game is to push together and to like gain the net, obviously, but like it's that, you know, early pressure strategy. But sometimes LeBron needs to stay back to cover and defend a little bit.
Yeah.
Augsburger just pushes, which I think is a, you know, decent strategy is what they're trying out.
Yeah.
But I think that leaves Augsburger kind of in the middle of nowhere a little bit.
No man's land.
And especially against Garrido Campagnolo in the semis against Chingalan, who are two, I mean, incredible players who can notice these things really quickly.
Yeah.
He was kind of left on his own.
Yeah, that gap down the middle. Cross court.
Loads of body shots that he just can't block.
Yeah.
Because depending, you know, if LeBron's ball floats just a tiny bit, they just punish him there, unless he's got quick reflexes, which he does. But they can find his feet. He's a very tall player, so his feet and body shots were kind of like they lost a lot of points because of that.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, look, they weren't going to give any free lobs to Augsburger, let alone LeBron, that's for sure. So they were like, let's play low, play the Chiquitas, play the angles, and that's what they did. You know, Chingo was also in control of that as well. Yeah. Like, he played like an absolute animal that game.
Yeah,
like, MVP.
I mean, he got one of the points of the tournament.
Yeah, he was just flying like Superman. He was just like in the middle of the air, just floating, returning balls, and I was just like, this is insane. That first set that they played, 0 unforced errors from Chingo. Yeah. Like that's why the excitement.
I mean, look, we've got the
let's look at the stats
here on the semis. 2 unforced errors in the entire game for Chingo.
For Chingo, yeah.
For Chingo.
That's crazy.
11 winners, 2 unforced errors is insane.
For a right side player or a forehand player, like it's just, I mean, it's 2 unforced errors is amazing, man.
It's insane. And then we've got 18 and 18 winners, 10 unforced errors for Galan.
Yeah.
18 winners, 9 unforced errors for Augsburger, pretty equal there. And then 9 winners, 9 unforced errors for Lebron. So the diagonal between Chingo and Lebron definitely went to Chingo this time. I mean, the main thing was the break points because they've got similar-ish winners, unforced errors, just a few more for Lebron Augsburger, but then 3 out of 8 break points for Chingalan and 0 break points for Augsburger LeBron. So they just broke them 3 times in 2 sets.
And they held it down. I mean, you know, Chingalan's strength is their consistency here. And LeBron's Augsburger, their biggest weakness was their inconsistency.
Exactly.
So they capitalized on that,
Yeah.
and they got it. Went to 2 sets, 6-2, 6-3. No big surprises. Really, I wasn't that shocked. Obviously, that's the stats, but I also love we got to dip into a little bit of the atmosphere on the court. Obviously, it's an old, you know, tale now, really, but like I still can't get over the beef or the relationship between Galan and LeBron still. Yeah. And I'm there like a freak. This is when you realize how much I love paddle. Like, and I'm pausing frame by frame analysis of the handshake at the end of the game.
Yeah,
and it
is crazy.
It's LeBron.
It's like a flimsy.
Yeah, he's just like whatever. And his face, the lack of eye contact, like the lack of respect for each other. Like, it's just hilarious at this point that. You can't put a smile on. You can't be the better man. Like you know, Galan is still living in LeBron's head rent free. Like no charges or anything like that. Yeah. And you know, there was some small discrepancies on the court with the umpire as well early on in that first.
Augsburger got a warning.
Yeah, Augsburger got a warning and everything like that. You know, and people also thought there was beef between their coach at the end, Jorge Martinez, and Jorge. There is no beef. Jorge clarified.
Dude,
he was like
the chillest guy ever.
Yeah,
like this dude is. Yeah.
He was definitely like no, there's nothing there. That's for sure. Yeah. But look, we got a little taste of LeBron Augsburger.
Let us know what you think, guys. Like, what are your takes on this pairing? Like, how do you see them?
Yeah,
I think they're gonna be. I think it's like let's see 2026.
I'm excited.
Give them
they
a
can
bit
do
of
it.
time.
Yeah,
let them work out some strategies and tactics.
Get a good therapist. You'll be good. Trust me.
Go to your sports psychologist. Get it sorted out on court. Like, look at some strategies.
Take a page out of Paquito and Jon Sanz book and see if you can form something like that.
But I think they could be very, very dangerous. I mean, we've got super young, explosive, never seen before kind of backhand player with Augsburger.
Yeah.
And then fucking one of the kings of the history of paddle, LeBron,
literally,
who is still, regardless of how much it hurts people, even though he is not one of the worst partners you can have, and not a great player in the whole like field press kind of thing, and his cockiness and stuff. Regardless, still one of the best paddle players ever.
Yeah, of course, and we're excited for that. And
so watch out and let us know what you guys think.
Okay, we're back for the women's finals here. Mm-hmm. Claudia Fernandez, Bea Gonzalez. Again, the second tournament where it seems like they're, it's at the end of the season, so it's a little bit of, I wish this happened a little bit early in the season, but honestly, it's something inside like Bea Gonzalez where she's just like an absolute rocket at the moment.
Yeah.
Watching her play, the pearl of paddle.
Yeah. Like,
it's been fantastic. And to have Claudia Fernandez on her right side, support her like that, who, I'm always amazed by how high her paddle IQ is, and to play.
And she's like,
she's 19, 20, like something like that, man. Like,
she's not even. I think she's either 18 or 19.
She's just like actually. She's gonna be a goat.
She's a beast. Like, even they were saying into this final, they were like Bea, who's not old. She's like 24 or 25 or something. Yeah. But she was like going into this. Claudia Gonzalez is the like kind of more veteran player because she's just won more majors and reached more major finals than Bea Gonzalez was her first major final.
Yes, this is her first dub.
And the first time she actually took a major win.
Yeah, no, it's
crazy to think that Claudia Gonzalez was the more like seasoned in that aspect, the more seasoned player.
She was like, this is my second Mexico major win, actually. I'm like, well, that happens when Gemma Triay is your teammate, that's for sure. Which was actually interesting, to see them go up against Gemma Triay and Delphi Brea. The number ones, ex-teammates. But this time it felt a little different because they were all over them. Like, they didn't...
Dude, it was the same in Dubai.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like the last two tournaments, Bea Gonzalez, Claudia Fernandez have kind of like walked over Triay and Brea, both in these both finals. with specific emphasis on Bea Gonzalez being like...
She's so aggressive, man.
And she just, both finals, playing like an absolute beast.
Yeah, no, she's a monster.
MVP 100%.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that 100%. Like, she's actually, like, proved to herself that she's so great. And, it is the second tournament on the trot now where it seems like Gemma Triay and Delphi Brea have so much more of a harder time going up against them in the finals as well compared to Sanchez and Jose Maria as well, right? Yeah. Just a side note for Sanchez, Jose Maria, they got knocked out in round 16, so they were just like not here this tournament basically, and they were like, see you in Barcelona, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was not sad to see, but yeah, to see Gemma and Delphi not click, not find a moment to breathe in the game, and I don't know what the best way to word it is. Just like they were just like all over them. There were moments where I just felt like, it was like Gemma Triay and Delphi Brea's first time playing paddle. You know what I mean? Like there was 100%. Moments like that where they were just absolutely moving them around the court.
They felt nervous, I think, especially from...
You think it's nerves? Is it nerves?
It's like not nerves, but just like they were missing... same as what I observed in Dubai. Yeah. Gonzalez Fernandez just wanted it more. Yeah. That was like what I could observe from like the body language and behavior was like they're locked in. Triay and Brea are just afraid of missing. They're not taking risks because they're, it's just, it was those dynamics for me. And it was the same in the Mexico final. I think
in the eyes and the perspective of, Gemma Triay and Delphi Brea, like, the moment they do go up against a more aggressive, fast-paced pair, that's their downfall a little bit. That's why I do think they can, if I try and think about why they have a tougher time against Sanchez, Jose Maria, who play a little bit more traditional style paddle, less aggressive, building the point. Yeah. They can handle that. But the moment the bulls are, moving at fast pace, the points are moving fast. Yeah. They can't keep up at all.
Especially because of Bea Gonzalez, who's like just changes rhythms, literally isn't afraid to like change the pace and just go for like a flat smash out of nowhere that she can disguise really well.
Most smashes that probably Delphi or Gemma tried to pull off, Bea was at the net running cross court to like just tap it out, and I'm just seeing amazing stuff like that where what a strong pairing. If we do look at the race, obviously we're going to talk about the Barcelona Finals right at the end, but Delphi and Gemma in number 1, Sanchez Jose Maria is in number 2, and in number 3 it's Claudia and Bea. The race for number 1, I'm just now my brain shifting to next year basically, because if they keep this going, it's going to be so tight for the top 3 basically. Yeah. And we'll see how they do in the Barcelona Finals, but there's something that just feels like they kind of just locked in at the end of this season this year, and I want them to keep that momentum over the winter break and everything. If we look at the stats here, Bea had 20 winners, 9 unforced errors.
I mean, by far the best player.
You compare that to on the cross court to Gemma with 13 winners and 12 unforced errors.
A lot of unforced errors from Delphi and Gemma, which was just not... I was a bit confused. Like Gemma missing some easy balls, especially and Delphi as well with like... Again, it just felt like she just wasn't... She was like afraid.
They were frozen a little bit.
A little bit
they were
frozen.
like iced out and just wasn't working for them.
Yeah, Delphi with a negative ratio. 9 winners and 12 unforced errors. Yeah. For a total of 15 unforced errors for Gonzalez Fernandez. 24 unforced errors for Delphi and Gemma. Big difference there. Yeah. 22 winners in total for Delphi and Gemma. 31 winners for Gonzalez Fernandez. I mean, it's just the difference in these two.
Yeah. Also check out the break points there. Gonzalez Fernandez had 16 opportunities. They took 6. That's pretty good ratio. And only 4 breakpoint opportunities, and they
converted 3. But
that echoes the pressure of each match that they're having or game that they're having. It's just like it's always down to the end, and if they can take them on that and break them, it's game over. Yeah, really. It's pure domination, man. There's not much more you can say.
It was pure domination.
6-2, 6-4 finals. Like number 3 is taking on number 1's, walk in the park. Like
it's a shame because it could have been the first time in history.
I kind of wanted that actually.
That a pair, is it female pair or just pair in general?
A pair in Premier Paddle history to win all 4 majors in one season. And if Gemma and Delphi won this tournament, they would have claimed that basically, and unfortunately it got
'Cause
snatched away
from
them.
Yeah, they won the 3 this year.
Yeah.
The last one, this one, they could have taken that.
Just on their performance, they didn't deserve it. That's for sure.
We don't get that, but at least we get, I think, very well deserved first major in her career for Bea Gonzalez.
Yeah, which feels it should have come earlier. I'll be honest, but now now's the time, and she's got that under her belt. Yeah. So that's fantastic.
And
man.
shout out to, I mean, we've said it as well, but Claudia Fernandez for, I guess maybe those forehand players just are a bit like more like swept, like kind of like buried.
They're slept on a little bit because they're not finishing the points.
Yeah, but like her consistency, her, as you said, it's paddle IQ.
Yeah,
for such a young player, finding those. It's incredible how she can find those like down the line shots towards Gemma.
Yes,
she did that loads in the Dubai final, and again this time, even Gemma was talking about it in on the changeovers and the benches. Yeah. She was being like, and I got to watch out for those down the lines from Claudia because they're fucking me up.
Yeah, okay.
With Delphi, if Delphi saw herself a bit like maybe the lob was just a bit too perfect from Claudia, she played the gancho, Delphi, towards the fence on Claudia's side. Claudia just knew that immediately, went forward, and instead of leaving it to bounce off the mesh and maybe fucking it up, she anticipated that, played the perfect like volley straight down to Gemma's side, and Gemma just
cut her out. Yeah. That's what I love, though. You always got to bring it up, that the fact that these guys played for so long with each other before, and this is their first season not playing with them. Like they, whether the team, especially rivalries like this in the top 4 or 5 pairings, like they know their opponents' like strengths and weaknesses, right? Let alone having a whole season or 2 seasons playing with them as your teammate, having that internal scoop on knowing how that player operates, knowing what they're going to do. And it does really feel like, especially Claudia with her paddle IQ, she knows how to unpick Gemma, who really, in my opinion, is probably the strongest player on the female circuit. Like, she's incredible.
Best player in the world.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would agree with that. And she's unpicking that apart, and it's great to see, and I love it. And now we're excited for the Barcelona Finals a little bit. So I think it's Gemma and Delphi's season this year on points for the race, but who knows what we can get from the Barcelona Finals. We might get our own Sanz Coki final type of thing, so that's very exciting. Speaking of finals, men's final, which is just incredible. Well, I say incredible, but
I mean, it was
scary, man.
Scary, and it's I guess the main in the paddle world, the main thing is Coello and Tapia have mathematically already won the race.
Yes.
After this final,
which we're like, boo! We wanted it to go down.
I was
to
like,
the wire.
It's a sad day for paddle, because how amazing would it have been?
Yeah.
Which is likely that in the Barcelona Finals, Coello and Tapia and Chingalan make it to the final.
Yeah.
A Barcelona Finals final to decide the number 1 spot would have been amazing.
A double-decker final, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But the storyline would have been insane. We would have been on the edge of our seat. I would have loved that last tournament of the season decider, who's going to win the race.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't get that. Which I'll be honest, my hot take, Chingalan didn't deserve it, obviously.
No.
Coello and Tapia are incredible, man.
Yeah.
And that ceiling that they can push when they need to is a way higher than what Chingalan can reach.
It's the Golden Boys. They've been a bit shaky against Chingalan for the past, last 5 tournaments. You know, Chingalan beating them a few times. But, I mean, there's just honestly, not a lot to say in terms of, we've seen them play for so long. They are so loved. They are the kings of paddle.
Yeah.
3rd year in a row being number 1s. If they manage to do that next year, it'll be like...
Dude, this is just the beginning.
It'll be like Lebron Galan for a 4th year in a row.
Yeah.
Just hats off, man. Sad day for paddle, for the spectators, I guess.
The storyline.
But if you're a Golden Boy fan, I mean... absolutely well deserved.
You got to celebrate. You saw their reaction at the end. Like, it meant everything to them. You know, you had Coello saying things like, if Tapia ever leaves me, I'm just going to retire from paddle.
Yeah.
Coello, honestly, these guys win, and you realize just how humble they are. And it's just incredible, their level of sportsmanship. Coello literally saying, winning the race is just the cherry on top.
Yeah.
I wake up every day and I get to play paddle, and I have a great teammate. I have a great team around me. my life's good. Trust me. Like just winning like this,
Yeah.
which is almost annoying to hear,
Yeah.
man. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, you're too humble, man.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this
yeah.
is too nice,
Yeah.
dude. Like this is amazing, man. You won. Like enjoy, celebrate. But yeah, they're just such decent people, man. Like very, very nice winners.
on and off the court. And yeah, absolutely well deserved. If we get a bit into
Yeah, let's break down the stats.
the nitty gritty. I mean, I guess first of all, it was I think the final started a bit. I think both teams knew the pressure was on. They knew what was at stake, and it started a bit like, in terms of paddleistically speaking, nothing crazy. It was just a bit like there was not a lot of hype, not a lot of screams from the players at the beginning. They were kind of like,
let's try warm up into this game.
Let's try and not make any mistakes.
Yeah.
Let's try and do it well. But then first set, really early on, immediately Coello Tapia break Chingalan.
Yeah.
I think it was the on the 2-1.
Yeah.
And then they take that set easily, I say, 6-4 with the classic one break point there.
Yeah, my feelings after that first set, I was like, okay, here we go. Like, this is happening a bit too fast now. Chingalan, I look a little bit lost out there in the back of the court.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think the game, even though Tapia was incredible and he was doing Tapia things, off the court shots, both for Chingo and Tapia, we saw some.
Oh yeah,
we saw some amazing off the court shots. I think the game once again was decided in the diagonal between Chingo and Coello. Sometimes Chingo can find the upper hand and kind of break him down, but this time Coello just kind of
It's a great battle between Chingo and Coello. Like that cross court is incredible. We all know
David
the
Goliath.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, literally. I mean that photo of them before the game when they're all stood there. It's Coello, Tapia, Galan, and then Chingo is so much smaller. Yeah, of course his height gets mentioned because it's a physical attribute that isn't necessarily a downfall anymore. He's proven to himself that he doesn't need that. He's an anomaly in a situation filled with giants, right?
Yeah.
But there's going to be moments where he can't handle Coello because it's Coello as well. At the end of the day, we're talking about one of the best, or if not the best. And also, look, something that we were talking about how Chingo has sort of evolved, especially this last stretch of the season, finding Bibora's different angles, playing them to the mesh, trying to confuse Coello a little bit so he doesn't just block them and gain the net so easily. I think Coello this time was finding, and Tapia as well, an interesting tactic, which was several times to Chiquita on Chingo. Right.
So that then they would have an easy lob over him to avoid his Vibora,
Yeah, try and get him
close, and then as soon as he falls for that Chiquita, they can lob him quickly on the volley to then push him back.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
So it's that chess game
they're just making him. They're trying to break him down, wear him down.
They say it all the time, even in press conferences. Is we've played this matchup so many times. It is a game of details and millimeters.
Yeah, the paddle is the lower percentage here, and the mind games and the mental gymnastics that they have to do is the main component and the drive here. And that was the first set. But look, the second set, we were like, all right, let's actually.
What happened in the second set? Break it down.
Well, first of all, we got a 5-2 lead from Chingalan.
They
woke up, they broke them, and all of a sudden I was like, okay, we're going into a third set, guys. They have too much time. And, they could breathe a little bit. It's 5-2.
It was 5-2. Coello and Tapia serve.
Yes.
So I was like, look, Chingalan might not get this one. They might, just whatever. Let it be. Let them win this game. 5-3, serve out the set for a 6-3. They go 5-3 on serve for Chingalan to serve out the set. Coello and Tapia doing golden boy things. They break them at the precise moment they needed to,
dude.
With bringing it back to 5-4 and then serving for Coello Tapia 5-5, 6-6, and then the tie break.
No, I was just watching it. Everyone was like, what is happening right now? It's 5-2.
5-2 to 7-6 is
I mean, the tie break was also nuts, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But, these are exactly the moments when I can say with my chest that this is why Coello and Tapia deserve to win the race.
Yeah.
Because they can handle that pressure and they go, hang on a second, we're not going to a third set. We're going to bring this back. We're going to go to a tie break.
Yeah.
And we're going to fucking run this
Hold
shit
up.
down.
We're 5-2.
Yes. Yeah.
Chill.
We
got this.
You know, in a sport where it's like, you know, the way this is scored, right? You know, maybe some people would think it's like, okay, this one's a write-off. Let's conserve our energy for the next set. Where these guys are like, no, we're not done yet.
Yeah.
Like, let's actually finish this off. We want to go home a little bit earlier today.
Yeah.
We're not going to a third set. And yeah, man, it was like a little bit of a slow motion car crash where you're like, okay, that is just like, you've closed the gap now. Like, what's going on? And then that's the mental game for Chingalan when they had a 5-2 lead. And the next thing you know, you're in a tiebreak against the Golden Boys. Like, what the fuck, guys? Like,
crazy.
Actually. So, yeah, it was a little disappointing, but that's the nature of the game.
Shout out to, I guess, that just reminded me, point of the tournament for me.
Which was
Galan's side glass forehand to get the break point in the second set. The crowd went crazy.
It was.
He finishes it off, catching Coello off guard.
I was going to say, there's not many people or moments when you can say, I caught Coello off guard.
Ankle breaker, just going for that forehand
like
off the glass.
Both off the glass.
Here. But yeah, for me, that was the main...
It was sick.
The best point of the tournament.
Yeah.
If we look at stats here a little bit before we move on.
Yeah.
Again, Chingo wasn't his best game. We've got him with a negative ratio of 13 winners and 15 unforced errors, unfortunately. As we said, one more break point for Coello and Tapia, even though they had one more winner and 10 more unforced errors. So 30 unforced errors for Chingalan, 20 for Coello and Tapia, and then just that extra break point that they always manage to get.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I think winners are very equal, so nothing there. If we're looking at smashes, Galan's smash wasn't on point, only converting 11 out of 24, less than 50% of smashes, which isn't very good, whereas Tapia, especially, and Coello were more clinical with their smashes. 10 out of 17 for Coello, 9 out of 14 for Tapia.
I mean, to add on to that, it wasn't necessarily a smash fest either.
No,
it's like no one was really smashing.
It was late at night. Yeah. The sun was down and the court was a bit slower, but it felt like, you know, Galan would smash. They could get the easy dunk, and literally the next point, Tapia just getting it over, you know, back to his court. It felt like I think Galan just needs to smash more because of, you know, that's the load he has to take on with his team. Because
Chingo can smash, but he's not going to.
But he's not going, and he can't do he doesn't have the smash ability or power as the other three players do. So he just has to take more chances on the smash. I think, personally, Galan usually chooses really well when he smashes, but this time specifically, I think he just tried too many times, didn't convert as many, and Coello and Tapia chose them perfectly and just won in that way.
And you know what? 6-4, 7-6.
Mm-hmm.
They claimed the title. The race is now over.
You could see how much it meant to them as well.
Yeah, it was amazing, man, honestly. Like, just, you know...
It's cool things to see.
It's cool because it's not like you couldn't see that emotion on their face, but it wasn't until that ball died and that point, they won the point, and you see Coello's face just like, you know... break out a little bit.
It's like bottled in. They're like, I have to play paddle now. Like, it isn't until the last second that it's like they've probably like stomach, head, it's everything.
It clicks,
It's like, oh my god, like they probably won't feel like throwing up.
It's an amazing.
A lot of emotion, a lot of pressure, and then as soon as that last ball either goes out or they can just like see it, it's like then they just like.
And they can breathe, you know? Yeah. I mean, whether you're a Chingalan fan or a Coello Tapia fan, you know, these are the great moments that come out of Premier Padel, really, or great moments in sport in general, where you can see the passion, really. That's like, you know, passion's almost an understatement at this point. And to see them with all their families, running up to their families, to get the early, you know, announcement that they've won the race now, they can breathe a little bit, you know, spend obviously the Barcelona Finals, and see what they can do in that when that happens. But I mean, you have to take our hats off to them. What a season they've had, really. Yeah. And it's honestly not unexpected at all. They kind of met all of our expectations. We do love an underdog here, and unfortunately Chingalan couldn't pull it off. And that's it. That was our last major of the year, guys. And we made it all the way to the end. And we have a Barcelona Finals, which we're obviously excited for. Our next segment is actually, we're just going to run through the Barcelona Finals. Now we've locked in on all of the pairings, and we just want to give our initial feelings and vibes and ride
Who's
with us.
going?
Yes.
Just so you guys know, what do we expect in the last tournament of the season? Who's going to the Barcelona Finals on the men's side? On the women's side, let's break down the top 16 players and the top 8 pairs.
Right.
Let's start with the men's.
No surprise. Coello, Tapia.
What?
Going through.
They're going?
Dude, what the hell?
Number ones.
Flying ahead now after that Mexico Major Finals. Their points are a bit about 2,000 points above Chingalan. Who are Chingalan also going to the finals. Coki Nieto, Mike Yanguas going
Third
through.
seeds. Awesome.
I have something, Hugh, you're like, they're going to split up. I have a good feeling. I want that Coki Barcelona energy from last year to come back, relive.
Dude, I remember that final.
Yeah,
it was.
You were there.
It was. Well, I was in Barcelona. I wasn't watching it. I watched the quarters.
Okay, yeah.
But I remember watching it on TV, being like, "What is going on?"
I
think it was the best paddle match I've ever watched.
I'll put that up in my top 3.
It was. I mean, a 3-setter. They came
most
back.
unexpected results.
It was crazy.
Yeah. So they're going. Stupa and Di Nenno are going.
4th seeds. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll see how they are. A second time seeing how these guys play. Obviously, no round 16 knockouts in the Barcelona finals, but they could get an early upset early on, depending on who they play. We've also got Augsburger Lebron, the 5th ranked pair here. Yeah. So I'm very interested to see if your estimate of if they're going to get a Chingalan or a Coello Tapia meetup somewhere down the line.
Yeah, they could. I don't know exactly how it's going to work in terms of...
the draws have not been released yet, but that could happen.
Yeah.
We got Momo Gonzalez, Fran Guerrero.
Sanz Navarro first.
Oh, Sanz Navarro's above. Sorry, I skipped that.
6th pair, Sanz Navarro.
Yes. Bringing the energy.
7th pair, Momo Gonzalez, Fran Guerrero. And 8th pair, Bergamini Leal. We should mention that the early-ish knockout of Teo and...
we forgot...
Alonso.
Yeah.
Teo, Alonso.
Alfonso, no?
Alonso.
Oh, Alonso. Oh.
Yeah, Edu.
Oh, Edu Alonso. Sorry, I was thinking about...
Yeah. So, Edu Alonso and Juan Teo got knocked out early-ish. So, because of that, Leal...
Bergamini?
Well, just Leal.
Oh, just Leal.
Managed to keep his spot, because let's not remember this is individual ranking. So, it's not top 8 pairs. It's top 16 players.
Yes.
So, it could have been the case that...
Could have been a random...
Teo ends the season as number 16. Leal doesn't, so Teo and Bergamini, would have no other option than to play together. It didn't happen, so Leal, for the first time in his career, you could see how much it meant to him, is going to go to the Barcelona Finals.
Oh, that's
and
sick.
no one's going to have to play with any random pairings.
Which kind of sucks a little bit. It's like, oh shit, my fucking teammate didn't make it into the Barcelona Finals, and let me go get a new teammate right now. Yeah, the leftovers a little bit, but we're so excited for that.
So those are the top 16 players, top 8 pairs. I mean, very quickly, Connor, any predictions? Anything you think is gonna...
Look, let's take Coello Tapia Chingalan out of the equation. I'll be very excited for, as I said, Coki Nieto, Mike Yanguas. I do also want to see Augsburger Lebron play again as well. Yeah. Those are two lower expectations for the pairings that, I could obviously say Chingalan, Coello Tapia final. That's probably what's going to happen. Yeah. But the 2 pairs that I'm excited for are Nieto and Yanguas and Augsburger and Lebron.
I think it's Nieto and Yanguas is it's their climate, it's their ecosystem. I think that's where they thrive. It's going to be a very slow court if it's the same as last year. Yeah, it's going to be like one of the slowest of the year.
Even if they don't make it to the final, like whether it's a Chingalan, Nieto Yanguas quarterfinal or whatever, they're going to give that top-seeded pair a very hard time to get to the final.
Yeah. So they've got the legs, they've got the stamina, definitely, especially Coki Nieto. Yeah. But and I don't know, Augsburger, LeBron, being such a slow court.
Yeah, they might get screwed over.
I would love to see them obviously play again, and I hope they prove me wrong. But it's not
their ideal circumstances.
It's not the ideal circumstances for their style of play.
Yeah, but I'll give you that.
Let us know, guys, what you think.
Who do you want to see get there?
Who do you want to see get there? Are we gonna get an El Clasico again?
Actually, that's my other take then. Okay, fine. Coello and Tapia, they won the race. Let Chingalan have the Barcelona finals, and there's 2 winners at the end of the year.
Coello has never won the Barcelona Finals. That's his like kryptonite.
He's got like a little empty shelf space waiting for the Barcelona Finals trophy. Okay.
So I think...
Okay, it's GG's then.
I
Go
mean,
ahead, Tapia will win.
If he proclaims his number one spot 3rd year in a row plus winning the Barcelona
You
Finals,
might as well tick it all off the list if you're at this point then. Why not, man?
Yeah.
And then on the women's side, we're kicking it off with Delphi Brea, Gemma Triay, Sanchez Jose Maria, Fernandez Gonzalez. These three here are where my most excitement lies. Obviously, they're the best performing pairs this season, but I just think the vibes on their competitiveness within each other are so sporadic at times to actually be like, okay, this is an easy win.
The final could be any combination of these three.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be number 1 versus number 3s, 2s versus 1s, 2s versus 3s.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen.
And then what? Sometimes you'll get a Salazar Calvo, thrown into the mix, and you never know what happens. But let's not skip too far down the list. After Fernandez Gonzalez, you got Ustero Arujo.
Number
After
4s.
that, Ortega Ricardo, Jensen Alonso, Salazar Calvo, and Gennard Verseda.
Yeah.
Look, as I said, the top 3, I'm very excited for, because right now, I don't know who's going to get there. I'll just ride off the fumes. Maybe it's recency bias, but I just want to see Fernandez Gonzalez win. I think they're creeping in to be like honestly one of my top favorite pairs when they're playing really well. Obviously, you got to win and lose next to your favorite teammates, right? Always stood by Gemma Triay and Delphi Brea, but I don't know. I like seeing
if they bring the heat they brought in Dubai and Mexico, Fernandez Gonzalez could potentially take it easily.
I mentioned her name already, but just Salazar and Calvo.
I love
that pairing. Honestly,
we've seen I remember last year being like, oh my god, Ustero and Alonso who played together. They've coming from the beginning of the season at 35 ranking or something or whatever,
playing extra tournaments.
They managed to become the 8th. They were just bottom of the list, but they were in the top 16, which was I was so happy to see that. And it's so cool to see these young players make it.
They were doing FIP silver tournaments just to get in a couple of hundred points and stuff like that.
And now we see Martina Calvo, who's 12, not 12, but she's
the youngest player on the circuit. She's 17 or 16 years old.
Making it to the Barcelona Finals. Also, Marina Guinart. Shout out to her because she's also making it for the first time.
Yeah, there you go.
They're the 2025 versions of Ustero and Alonso basically.
I mean, they're
so excited for that.
They just keep pumping these players out, but Martina Calvo is the youngest player on the circuit right now. Plays like an absolute beast, and she's got
number
Salva,
one for
Salva?
sure.
She's got Salazar next to her as well. So it's that the old and new sort of duo, and I really like how they play. She's so aggressive, Calvo especially. And I want them to shift the tides a little bit on the way to the Barcelona Finals, but we'll see. But that's the rundown. These are the pairings that are now in the Barcelona Finals, which is 1 week away or 2 weeks away. 2 weeks.
So I'm gonna say before we finish it off, I want to hear your prediction.
Yes, we're gonna get predictions.
I know it's boring, but Coello and Tapia take
Crazy.
on the men's side, and I'm going to say that I'm going to say Triay and Delphi Brea take it on the two number ones.
The two number ones.
Two number ones.
Crazy, dude. Crazy prediction. Yeah. I'm going to go for the wild cards here. I'm going to say Coki Nieto, Mike Yanguas are going to take the Barcelona Finals.
All right.
Dude, mark my words, man.
Yeah.
And I'll also back Claudia Fernandez, Bea Gonzalez on their triumphant last two tournaments, and I would love to see just kind of the next generation-ish of paddle make a name for themselves already and put pressure on Delphi and Gemma. And Sanchez and Jose Maria, I do feel like, just to take in court conditions, probably is in their favor for this against the number ones, Brea and Triay.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna. Sorry, that was a little bit messy. My women's predictions are Fernandez and Gonzalez to take it all the way to Barcelona Finals, and that's where I stand. Let us know what you guys think as well.
What are your predictions?
Any wild cards? Any wild guesses? Do you want to be boring and choose Hughes number one spots? Crazy.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's the end of episode 28, guys. On our 1 year anniversary. So if you made it to the end of the episode, Thank you very much. Thank you. Honestly, the support's great. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe. It keeps us motivated to do what we do.
Comment,
and
interact with us. We love talking to you guys.
Exactly.
It's been an amazing year. Can't wait to do the Barcelona Finals, where we're going to introduce also a few little presents.
Oh yeah,
we've
yeah.
got
Some
of you already
presents.
might know what they are. And hopefully a new surprise, potentially. We don't know yet, but a new surprise that you guys are definitely going to like for the pod.
Yes. We got gifts for you guys. Come on.
We got gifts. Christmas is going to come early this year for the Off Court podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace out.
Guys.